How to know if you're picking a good ship. Now, there's many questions you have to ask yourself when you're going to get your ship, when you're finally at the opportunity to pick your own ship. The type of ship you want, the type of lifestyle you want, how much you want to get paid, the type of run you want to be on that specific ship. Because all these things change your experience drastically. It's completely different being on a tanker, being on a ro-ro, being on a container ship, and the runs are very different. Do you want to see other countries? Do you want to see specific parts of the world? Do you want to stay local and just run the coast of the United States? These are all things you really have to think of before you pick your first job and to know if it is the right ship for you. So the first thing you're going to see when you go and try to get a job is the company and the kind of ship you will be working on. So for example, if you're with the SIU and you go to the job board and you see the ships lined up, it will tell you what type of ship, what type of company it will be working for. So for example, if you see OSG, you'll know that is a tanker shipping liquefied cargo. Next thing you can check is the run, where the ship is going to go. On a contract, when you first get your job, it will state the type of ship and the run it will be on, and also the pay. So looking at the run, this is where you get to decide the type of lifestyle you want. Do you want a European run with the ship? Do you want to have a South America run? Do you want to go over to Asia, to Africa? Do you want to run across the East Coast of the United States, the West Coast, all the way to Alaska? These are all things that you can decide just by looking at the contract and looking at the ship. Having those options is an amazing thing. Being able to choose where you want to go when you get to that point is an amazing opportunity. It's one of my favorite things to decide on where I want to go, how long I want to be on the ship. All these options I get to fully decide, and you will too. If you ever need help trying to get to that point and you want to meet cool mariners from around the world who are going through the same things as you, join my community, Sailors Connect. Link in description. Okay, so you found the cool company, you found a good run, but then there might be this little thing that might scare you off from the ship. How much money you're going to make. If you're not making what you think you should make, don't take the ship. That's the bottom line. There are plenty of ships out there that are making way less than the standard contract that you should be making in your position. Specifically with the union, they try to push these jobs forward because they know nobody wants to take them. If you look at the board here, these jobs in the red, those are urgent jobs that are not getting filled for any type of reason. Life on the ship isn't good enough. Pay on the ship isn't good enough. The run isn't good enough. Those are jobs that they are trying to push forward, and they are urgently need of replacement. The people on those ships need off, and no one's taking them. No one's relieving them. If you're okay with how much you're making, then sign the contract. But to really know if you are getting on a good ship, the only thing you really can do is to get on that ship and ask yourself, is this the type of life that I want? I'll start right off the bat. There are levels to living on a ship. Most ships look pretty basic on the interior, nothing crazy going on. If you go on a ship that looks like this, buddy, you fucking lucked out. I guarantee you, there are not many ships that are this beautiful, filled with plants, looks like a fucking cruise ship. Stick with it if you get on it. And there are ships that look like dog shit, look like no one cleans properly, just the way of living just isn't good. So don't be afraid to write that one down and say never again. Do your job and get off, get on a different ship that you really want to live on, because this is your life. It's about being happy. It's about doing your dreams as a merchant mariner. Do it right. Don't feel obligated to work somewhere once you sign a contract. Finish your contract and never go back. I do it all the time. If I'm not too happy with the ship that I've been on, I don't go back. If I love the ship that I went on, then I'll possibly go back. We have the ability to decide what we want to go in this industry until you take a permanent job, obviously, if that's up to you, if you want to do that. The biggest things that make a really good ship, though, honestly, beyond the pay, beyond the run, beyond the company, beyond the living, are the people on board, the crew that you get to connect with, and the food. The food, huge thing. I've been on ships where you're getting pretty shitty food. You run out of food almost every time going across the Atlantic because the steward's department just isn't doing their job properly. And then I've been on other ships where the steward's department are worshipped like gods because they're just doing their job so amazing, keeping us all happy, keeping us healthy. And you have the crew members who you love and joke around with and just have a good time. That's when you know you're on a perfect ship. When you have a crew that you can hang out when you're in the middle of the sea, have some fun, keep you happy, keep you out of your room when you're all alone and all this and all that. Be friendly with people, enjoy yourself. You're on there to work, but you're also on there to live, to be happy. So go have fun with people. Don't be afraid to do that. Once you find a great ship, enjoy yourself. The mates, the engineers, the captain, These are all things that will greatly influence if you're having a good trip or a bad ship. There are some mates who will be so nice, so respectful to you, will treat you like a human being. Then there's other ones who have a major stick about this wide right up their ass, who are just screaming at you for no reason and just treating you like a dog. Those ones can continue to shove that stick further up their ass. That's just how I think about it. But these are all things you have to weigh in when you are thinking if you are on a good ship or not. Is this a long-term vessel for me, or is this a get up and go once my contract is over and never go back to it ever again? There are many factors to a ship when it comes to good loading. These things you have to consider. Lots of people think a good ship is just one that pays well. I've been on ships that pay well, but life is miserable. I'll choose my happiness over money any day of the week. My happiness is what's going to keep me going long-term in this industry and in life itself. So I want people that I can be with, that I enjoy my time with. I want a run that I have fun with. I want a good rotation on the ship. All these things are very important to consider for your way of life, and I hope you just consider it when you're pursuing this career as a merchant mariner. And if you're serious about becoming a merchant mariner, and if you want to work with me directly, check out my community, Sailors Connect. Link in description. I hope you learned something today. There is a lot to it. Focus, dial in. Once you get to this point of picking your ship, don't just take any job unless you want to. That's okay. But I always say happiness before everything. Happiness before money, happiness before way of life, happiness before everything. And your happiness is more important than you realize sometimes. Do not neglect your own happiness. Sail on.